Hello, welcome back to Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far. So everybody's talking about the big sale. And, I like this card. This is the most expensive card ever sold on the market. Sold or purchased by Kevin O'Leary, of Shark Tank fame. He's always on the news cycle, networks. And of course, two other buyers, which, they're pretty big buyers. But is this like the best card ever? This 07-08 Exquisite Kobe Jordan Dual Auto Logo Man 1/1 PSA 6. PSA 6, so, it's not the best quality card. It has awesome information, but, PSA 6, we're all looking for those PSA 10s. But I watched the thing on Neo, and he thought that it had something to do with, this company, Secure Collectibles, That's fairly new to the market. I went to the website. There aren't many members. You have to be like a big, wealthy acolyte. That's the way the U.S. is turning. I've got my passport. I'm going to be moving to a very, very small third world country. Why? Because it's affordable. No, just kidding. But that's about where it's getting to be. And there's just so much hype about this sale that I go, okay, well, that's good for sports cards, but is it really good for sports cards, And you can go on X, and there is no shortage of, posts about this card. We can just go on here. You see all these, different posts. It's all the same thing. It's all the same card, And they're all highlighting the fact that, $12.9 million roughly. I even have, your favorite company, Backyard Breaks, posting about it. Everyone has this on their radar. And I am an Upper Deck fan. So I think it's awesome that the most expensive sports card in history is Upper Deck. So can we please get rid of Topps? Just putting that out there. I am so burned out at Topps fanatics, Michael Rubin. And I hope Michael Rubin gets this card tattooed on his chest. Why? And make sure and highlight that Upper Deck. So that's what I like about this card. Okay, so as anyone who watches my channel knows, my favorite sports card company is Upper Deck. So I'm kind of, rooting for that fact, I like that. But, I'm one of those guys that, well, was this the greatest purchase in history? And honestly, I don't believe it was. And the reason why I don't believe it was the greatest sports card purchase in history is pretty easy. All you have to do is go to eBay. Anyone can do this and look at, recent sales on, say, Michael Jordan autos and Kobe Bryant autos. So I'm just going to cycle down here. Here's even LeBron James autos that sold for $2,975, but here's one that sold on August 24th, 2025. This is a 2013 Upper Deck all-time greats, Michael Jordan and Julius Erving dual auto, 15/23 PSA 7. So it's not a one of one. $5,977.77. Take a look at this card. That's a nice card, And honestly, I believe that this card was, created in a better manner. It's just, it has gold writing on it. So, that's a recent hit for Michael Jordan. Here's a 1996, Upper Deck SPX record breaker Michael Jordan R1 autograph out of 250. $15,999.99. That's a PSA 8. I've had these cards before, not in Michael Jordan, but just other players. Those are nice cards, hologram cards. So, keep cycling down here. And, there's other ways. You don't just have to get Michael Jordan autographs, but, here's a nice Michael Jordan autograph. 2012 Upper Deck Exquisite Dream Seasons Michael Jordan autograph card. Numbered out 70. This is, PSA near mint 8. $4,599.99. That's a lot less than almost $13 million now, isn't it? And so, I can play around with this a little bit. Why not? Let's see what else I can pull up, huh? Okay. So here is some Kobe Bryant autos. This is a 2003 Upper Deck short print signature authentic on-card auto. Kobe Bryant, PSA. I don't know if it's numbered or not. $3,999. 2017 Panini National Treasures Kobe Bryant auto. Card auto, PSA 9, $4,150. Now, I know that I've heard rumors that some of these Kobe Bryant's autos, after he, passed away in that accident, that, there was a kind of a big forgery scheme. So you have to be aware of that, of course. But my point is, you don't have to spend near as much money. If you really want, if you're a big fan of Michael Jordan, you want a Michael Jordan autograph, you want a Kobe Bryant autograph, you don't have to spend that much. I mean, like here's one, 97 SB autograph card on card number 8 auto. Rookie, $2,025. That sold. And these are just, cards that have recently sold. There's another Kobe Bryant that sold August 21st, 2025, PSA 8. Pros and Prospects jersey auto. Kobe Bryant. $3,488. So let's be honest here. If you want to get into like a Michael Jordan card, budget about $5,000. If you want a Kobe Bryant, budget about $4,000, about $9,000, depending on what you can get. You're going to spend more money if you try and go after these manufactured one-of-ones, of course, But the thing is that's one of the issues I have with why I don't believe that card is worth as much as it should literally be, But let's be honest here. Let's be honest here about hyping that card up. Why something that they're making out to be rare? In my opinion, those autos aren't that rare. What's rare is the fact that Upper Deck put a 1-of-1 on that card. That's the rarity. That's the scarcity. I get that. But, I just went over, the sold listings over eBay for Michael Jordan autograph cards, Kobe Bryant autograph cards. You can get a Kobe Bryant rookie autograph card, and you're not going to spend near as much as something like this dual auto logo, man, 1-of-1 Upper Deck Exquisite, from 07, 08, or whatever it was, And that's what I know from my point of view. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. I know that this casino economy, I guess invest $13 million in a slab with a card in it with a few autos and some patches over investing that money in our local economies to give people good jobs. This casino economy, it gives false appearances, doesn't it? Where the majority of wealthy people in the U.S. earn their money through investments, say, over employment. Most of us, including me, look for our cash through employment opportunities, or else like my small business. A lot of Americans are suffering right now, let's be honest. And a lot of their suffering has to do with the casino economy. And I've said it before, if you study the economy, you'd understand that the U.S. is currently living under a casino economy. And that's why a lot of the wages are low and why, you get people becoming wealthy off of, investments, whether it be real estate, whatever, gold investments, stock investment, crypto, and now you have these wealthy acolytes believing that, this is the card. But I just don't believe that this truly is the card. And I point out why, My argument against it: you can spend drastically lower amounts, like under $10,000, to get a similar, I could walk in. Well, here's my Michael Jordan auto that's slabbed up. Here's my Kobe Bryant auto patch that's slabbed up. For under $10,000, and the Kobe Bryant auto patch, you could spend a lot less and get into a rookie auto patch, which in the long run, it's those rookie cards that are going to likely hold the most value, for collectors down the road. This was an expensive card, but I just couldn't imagine trying to get a return on that $13 million, logo man, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan auto. Whoever buys it will likely be, whoever bought the most expensive card in history. That's just it, as it keeps rising. But does it really deserve it? That's just it, And I kind of agree with Neo for the fact that he believes that, the company that's showing it out really was trying to hype up the company more than the card itself. There's something going on there. So, anyway. How do you feel about this? I gave my 2 cents. We even went to eBay. I pointed out that people are purchasing basically the same cards for drastically a lot less. There's quite a few on the market, especially Kobe Bryant autos over, say, the Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan autos definitely have more rarity and scarcity than Kobe Bryant autos as well. So, anyway, you can get into the same sort of products and spend a lot less. That's my point. Maybe you won't have a one-of-one logo man dual auto with Bryant and Jordan, but you could go out and purchase those, slabs and each have their autos. That's just it, for a lot less. So I'll say it again. I just don't think it was that smart of a business or even an investment purchase, because really it's not really a business purchase. I've been digging more into business purchases myself over investing in expensive items. Anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers, my recent subscribers. And if you're a viewer, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscription button. Anyway, I hope you tune again for the next episode of Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. I'm out of here. Bye.